Today's topic, we're going to talk about the power of imagination, especially when praying or just in general. All the stuff you've been attracting just from your imaginations without even realizing it. This is why sometimes you'll be calling it a deja vu or something like that. But without wasting any time, let's start with let's read Genesis chapter 30 verse 31. I am not going to read this verse for you because it's so long and I don't want to make this video so long as well, so I'm just going to break it down for you and give you the highlights of the storyline just to get out the message I want to give to you today. Genesis 30 verse 31. This is the story of Jacob and Laban. Laban is the father-in-law of Jacob. Jacob used to work for Laban, and Laban sometime he came to Jacob and said, "How can I repay you for all the work you're doing for me?" And then Jacob said, okay, since Laban had lots of sheep and animals and flocks, Jacob used to look after Laban's sheep. And then Jacob said, from today, if the sheep gave birth to a sheep of many colors, like if the sheep has black and white or brown, different colors, those will be my sheep. Laban, having to think Jacob is so foolish to the proposal, he definitely agreed. And Laban, obviously, he tried to trick Jacob. He had removed all the sheep with different colors and left with Jacob with, let's say the sheep were pure, like this color, no spot, no nothing. So there was no way those sheep were going to give birth to a sheep of different colors. So Jacob, him understanding the power of imagination. Watch, this is where it's getting interesting. This is where I have missed this verse. This is where the power of imagination comes from. Oh my goodness, thank you God for that revelation. This is the power of imagination. In Genesis 30 verse 36, this particular verse, this is where Jacob formed art. He took branches and put all types of different colors, just where the sheep come and drink their water, so that during the time of mating, when they're going to mate, let's say intercourse, they will be looking at those colors, the image that Jacob has created, just different colors. Jacob understood the power of imagination. My God. Look, so when the sheep were mating, if you read Genesis 30 verse 31 till the end, the sheep ended up giving birth. Imagine. Two of these, there is no way they can give birth to something of color, different color. There's no way a black spot or brown, different colors, like a zebra, can come out from something like this, as an example. Through the power of imagination, these two sheep, when they come together of pure white color, as they were mating, just because they were looking at the arts Jacob had created, different colors, they gave birth to sheep of different colors. Can you imagine? How is it possible? I had studied biology and I understood DNA, but how is it possible that through imagination, Jacob knew the power of imagination, that even though these sheep were pure and their DNA were pure, there is no combination, but through the image that these sheep will be looking at while they are mating, they will give birth to a baby of different colors. Oh my goodness. So every thought that the sheep were imagining while they are mating and looking at the different colors came out into the physical form. This is the message of today, the power of imagination. Thank you, Father. The power of imagination. This is so powerful. Now it makes sense. When a pregnant lady, when the elders are advising the pregnant lady that no, you should not, be careful what you think, be careful, you should not hate on somebody because the child might just come out looking like that particular person. No DNA formed. But if you hate or like somebody so much that you think about them so much, your own baby may come out looking exactly like that. Even the elders understand the power of imagination. Even the sheep understood the power of imaginations, the power of thoughts. Why are you struggling to manifest your power of imagination? Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20. Now this verse makes sense. It all makes sense. For the Bible says, now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than we ask or imagine. I repeat, more than we ask or imagine. Imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. Do you know that this verse is telling us that sometimes, even if you did not ask the Lord, but just because you have imagined it, he will answer. Oh, so sometimes I used to be like, I have so much on my mind. I have this particular picture, but I don't know how to ask the Lord. It's okay, for the Lord has already seen the image you have. Oh, thank you, Father, for the revelation. Imagining is already enough for the Lord. From today, whenever you are praying, have a picture of what you are praying for. Have a vision. Feel like it's existing in your prayer. If you are praying for a house, describe the house in your prayers. See yourself entering that house. See yourself, the car you are driving, the color of the car, the feeling you are feeling when you are driving it. While you are praying, enough of just, Father, give me a car. Start to imagine it. May the Lord see the clear picture of your imagination of the type of car, dream, work, position, whatsoever it is that you are asking. Oh, have a pure imagination, just like the sheep. Every time they are mating, they were looking at it. So from today, every time you are praying, look at that image and feel it. Do you know that God, even Jesus, when he was on earth, he was answering the Pharisees, his disciples, and everyone around him in their thoughts? Questions they were having in their thoughts, Jesus was answering. So the Lord is telling you, I will answer even what you are imagining. So from today, change the way you think. Oh my goodness. Let's read the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 28. But I tell you that anyone who looks at the woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. The Bible says, just from looking, it is as good as it has happened. Even to the Lord, it's a sin. Oh, so imagine if your imagination to the Lord, it seems it's the same. It has already happened. How about when you start imagining prosperity? How about when you start imagining the house that you are in? Which means by the time you officially get the house, you have already lived in the house in your imaginary land. It has already happened. Matthew chapter 5 verse 28 reminds me of the story of Joseph. Joseph had an imagination, an image of him sitting on the throne, that even his own father and his brothers will bow down. He imagined it. That when the time came, when Joseph had sat and the brothers had bowed down to Joseph, nothing was new. He had already lived in that event. It had already happened. To him, it was a deja vu. That had already... From today, stop wasting your thoughts, your imaginations on negative stuff, on wasting your energy on people, imagining their lives instead of imagining your own life. Create your own life. Sometimes you are contributing to their lives because you are too busy imagining the goodness of their life. The goodness will keep following them and it will be missing you because your own imagination is too focused on them. You forget to focus on you. You are so addicted to imagining people's lives first thing in the morning when you wake up. Instead of reading the Bible, instead of having your own life imagination, what do? Instagram, who's life, Facebook, and what are you looking at the picture? You spend 5 minutes imagining their life, imagining, sending thoughts, sending energy, missing your own imagination, missing your own life. Where is that thought that you're thinking? It's contributing to their life. They are getting more successful. That's why you are getting more upset and upset without realizing you are the one contributing to their success because your thoughts and imaginations, you are too busy focusing on them. From today, may your mind be renewed by the Lord. May you start imagining your dream house, your dream job, your health. May you start imagining you. Focus on you. The Lord says you are too busy focusing on. Do you know that so many events that had happened in my life, Like events, I'm not necessarily talking about an event. An event is anything that occurs, anything that happens. Do you know that so many times I will imagine a particular event? I will even imagine my grand entrance, practice my grand entrance, how I'm going to dress. If I know I am going to meet X and B, I already prepare the conversation we are going to have, and I already imagine why this particular person is going to like me, why this particular person will want to be part of my life. I already imagine it all, that when the day comes, I know what to do. It's just a deja vu. And I laugh at myself and I'm like, it really happened the way. That time I didn't even know the power of my own imagination. Imagine from today, you know the power of your own imagination. The Lord will answer even what you've imagined. This is one of my testimonies, like the day of Trey songs. I mean, that imagination, people don't understand. It looks so, the day, when things happen, people think you are lucky or it's by luck, but they don't understand. Just like Jacob, Laban might be thinking Jacob is so lucky, but he has no idea the works he has put in his imagination. That in the physical realm, you don't need to do so much work anymore because you have already done it in your imagination. Why must you repeat the same stuff you've already said or done? This is the story. My aunt had a dream to give Trey Songz a shirt because her imagination was just, she's a designer and she would love to give Trey Songz a t-shirt. And then I was like, yeah, but it's gonna be dope if he wears it. Now for some weird reason, since then I've been in practicing how I'm going to give him the t-shirt, how I'm gonna tell him. Mind you, this time I don't know Trey Songz. I don't even know his crew. I have no idea of him. I don't even know, zero, nothing. It's just my imagination. I'm imagining how I'm gonna convince him as to why he needs to wear this shirt on stage. I've already been imagining him on stage with the design that he is wearing and the adrenaline that I'll be feeling on that day when the day came. So mind you, this guy is on the other side of the world in Los Angeles, LA, and I am this side in Africa, down in Namibia, in a city called Ventu. Two minds. Him on the other side, he is thinking he's coming to Namibia. This is what his stylist is saying he is going to wear the day of the event. But me in Namibia, my imagination, I already had figured out what he is going to wear. He is going to wear my t-shirt, not what the stylist had said he's going to wear. He's going to wear the power of imagination. Who am I to change what Trey Songz must wear the day he's performing? It's one thing to give the t-shirt. It's one thing to tell somebody to wear your brand for free and advertise it to thousands of people. Do you know the power of imagination? Today, and mind you, when you imagine, everything is so normal. There is no obstruction. There is nobody to sabotage you. There is, in your imagination, mind you are free. That's why it's called an imaginary world. That's where everything is possible. That's where you feel the power of the Lord's presence. Because when I was imagining Trey Songz wearing that shirt, I knew it. In my imaginary, it was possible. It was so easy. But it was gonna happen. That in the physical realm, you know why it happened? You know why they could not stop me? You know why it had to happen? Because in my imaginary, there was no distraction. There was no sabotage. There was nobody stopping me. Why would what I did not imagine happen in the physical realm, my God will not? Jesus said, when the child asks for sweets, why would the father give stones? Let's end with Mark 11:23. What I was trying to tell you in my story is that when I was saying in my thoughts, in my imagination, the picture I had, there was no distraction, obstruction. There was no sabotage. There was no mountain in front of me. There was nothing. Everything looked so easy. Because in the book of Mark 11 verse 23, it says, you can even tell the mountain to move as long as you have no doubt. Because the Lord is trying to say, if in your imagination there is doubt, there is destruction, there is sabotage, there is everything. It will happen in the physical realm. Thank you. I hope today I have motivated somebody and help them change the renewal of their minds. Start imagining what it is that you want. In the mighty name of Jesus, it shall happen.